YouTuber, CJ Flyer, Backyard, Kansas, USA. Got a little unboxing to do today. Got 2,000 red wigglers in this box that you see. Came from Uncle Jim's Worm Farm in New York. I went with Uncle Jim's for a couple of reasons, but mainly just kind of watching his YouTube input. Seems like a real down-to-earth guy, and no pun intended, but just a super nice guy. And I made the order under the stipulation that I had to have these worms before this Friday coming up because I'll be leaving for 2 weeks. And if they couldn't send them out and make the delivery date before then, that we just hold off on the order until they got back. Well, this was Memorial Day weekend, so that added to the complications, and I really expected to hear back to say, you know, hey, we can't get it done, let's just hold off. Well, I show up on the front porch this morning, and there's the box. This is Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day weekend, so really happy with that shipping. And Jim's Worm Farm, thank you so much for doing that. So let's open this thing up and see what we have. Hopefully everything's alive in there. I've decided that worm tea is highly beneficial based off my, again, YouTube research, and I've decided to start my own worm compost bin and thereby be able to harvest the worm castings. Looks like we have instructions and information. Do not let the box sit in direct sunlight. Open the bag immediately and give the worms a drink. Half a cup of water will do. Looks like a nice guide here to help me out with getting these worms going. Now, I have a bin made, and I have some compost in it, and it's ready to go. So here we have it. Live worms. Should be 2,000 of them in there. Don't feel anything moving. That's okay. A bit of packaging, good to go. So let's see if we have some live worms in here. And Jim's has he makes some great videos on just exactly what we're doing right here, unboxing your new shipment and just how to treat them, how to make your bedding, and so forth and so on. And I see them, and wow, there's a bunch of them in there, folks. If you can see those or not, but they're definitely alive and probably hungry, probably thirsty. So we're going to move to the compost bin, the worm compost bin that I made up out of a little tote, and we're going to put them in there. We're going to give them a little drink of water and go from there. Here we are at the compost bin I've made up. Just I don't even know what who makes this. Durabuilt is who makes this down at Walmart. Fairly small bin, and what I've done with it is drilled some holes underneath on this end of it. I've got it leveled so that it's tipping towards this end. I'll have my 5-gallon or some kind of bucket underneath of it to empty, and we're good to go. I've already put compost in it, and I've got a little hook up here so I can just hook the lid up and keep it up. I've got 2 little vent caps to make sure there's airflow through there. Again, I've already got compost in there. I've got a little bit of horse manure in there that's partially composted. And I've already got some pieces of watermelon and some different household scraps that I've put in there. So they're ready to be introduced to their new home. So what I'm going to do is dump them out, and then I'll tip the camera over so that you can kind of see the worms in the new home. I've also got you know, some coffee grounds and coffee filters in there. And let's see, the lighting's not the greatest, but I'm going to tip you over here and see if you can see in there. Let the light adjust there a little bit. I hope you can see that. And then we can back it up. The whole pile there just kind of laid out. And I'm going to spread those out a little bit. And then I've got some newspaper literally an end roll from our local newspaper. They sell these things for cheap, like I don't remember if that roll was like $3.50, something like that. But we use it for starting our charcoal when we're camping and all kinds of things. But the great thing about this is there's no print on it. It's just an end roll. So I'm going to take that, shred it up a little bit, and throw that in there, dampen it down. The instructions say, from Uncle Jim, to put them in and to wet down the newspaper and put that over the top of them, and also to leave some light initially for 24 hours on this setup so that the worms will naturally bury themselves down in. He also says it's kind of natural for a few of them to try to escape and that type of thing, but I'm going to spread a few of them around here so they can kind of go to their four corners and find out where they're going to live for a while and hopefully find something to eat. The newspaper is put on top and it's been wetted down. Got a few leaves in there from what blew off the tree from the storm the other day. And we'll give you an update on how this compost bin is going. Again, collecting the worm castings, but also the worm juice, if you will, that's coming out the bottom. I didn't tell you, but I've drilled holes through the tub, but I've also cut out a pretty good sized notch out of this bench that it's sitting on so that there won't be any mess as the juice goes down through that. So anyway, we'll give you an update, let you know how this is going. Probably not until after I get back from my trip, which will be about 3 weeks from now. So thanks for watching, and highly recommend Uncle Jim's worm farm and his worms and the other stuff he offers there. From CJ Flower, Backyard, Kansas, USA, God bless and Godspeed.